I literally just put that there for this video and I'm very happy I did. Hi! So first of all, before we even get started, oh my god, my hands are killing me, this is so heavy. Before we get started, I'm gonna be doing a giveaway on some of these lovely bullet journals. So make sure you stick to the end of the video where I talk about the rules of the giveaway if you want one of these pretty boys. Yes. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, my hands. So today I'm gonna be reviewing and unboxing two of these. One of them is an Archer and Olive bullet journal and the other one is a lesser known Scribble Dot bullet journal. The reason I decided to compare these two in particular was because when I started bullet journaling, or when I wanted to get into bullet journaling, I did some extensive research, okay? And I found that on the UK market, you could only really get the Scribble Dot notebook that it basically had the things that I was looking for. So I was looking for a pen loop, I was looking for thick pages and pretty designs, and I felt like the Scribble Dot notebook was the only one that could offer that. But at the same time, after I started watching more and more bullet journaling videos, I realized that the Archer and Olive is actually really popular. Now, this isn't really available in the UK. I mean, it is through resellers. It's only available in the UK through resellers, is what I'm trying to say. I think that they are the best two on the market in my very limited opinion. Both of these are very similar to each other in terms of specifications, I guess you would say. Specification.
In terms of technical specifications.
This is real science here, okay? You gotta listen up. So like I was saying, these two are very similar. I'm gonna talk about each one of these and yeah, it should help you pick out your next bullet journal, hopefully. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to upload this until the New Year's because I had to have the Scribble Dot bullet journal shipped from the UK to the Czech Republic, which is where I'm at now. And the day that it was supposed to be shipped, France closed its borders, so they had to return the package and I had to order a new collection and new delivery for when the borders were open again. So
thanks, France!
No, I'm not gonna blame this on French people. Everybody already hates them anyway, so yeah. So let's first do the unboxing so that you can actually see what the notebooks look like when you buy them. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of a background on both of these companies. So Archer and Olive is a US-based company. I believe that the CEO specifically comes from Austin, Texas, if anybody was interested in that. It is a very useless piece of information, but basically what I'm trying to say is that it's an American company, US company, which means that it might not be available on some European markets. Like I said, you can get it in the UK through resellers. You can get it in the Czech Republic even through resellers. You can't really get many things in the Czech Republic. That's why I'm so surprised. It's been around for a while now. I don't really know how many years exactly. I'm gonna put it on the screen if I manage to find it. And not that you care or anything, but I thought this was really funny. So fun fact about the Archer and Olive brand. The brand name is actually based on two cats, Archer and Olive, and I just thought it was hella cute, so I thought you should know because it's just, I don't know, I love it, okay? Now, as for Scribble Dot, they're a much newer company. Again, not exactly sure, but I have a feeling that they only launched like sometime last year. By last year, I mean 2019. At the beginning of 2019, maybe. So they haven't been around for long at all, but I think they're already doing a really good job. And Scribble Dot is actually a UK-based company, but yeah, it exists, it's very nice, and now I'm gonna talk about it. So let's talk about price now. If you've been around for a while in the bullet journaling community, you might have heard that the Archer and Olive notebooks are really expensive. Now, I don't really know how much is too much to pay for a bullet journal. I mean, honestly, anything above $10 is like too much for me. But you know, opinions differ. So anyway, so the Archer and Olive notebooks retail for $32 to $36 usually. I believe this one in particular was $32, which is about 24 British pounds. Whereas I think is a big plus for Scribble Dot. The Scribble Dot costs £14.95, which in US dollars is about $20-ish. So it's about at least $12 cheaper than the Archer and Olive notebook, which I think is quite a big price difference considering they're not really that different, but I'm gonna talk about that more. As for the choice of designs, since Archer and Olive has been around for much longer, they have a lot more designs to choose from. Some of them I'm not really crazy about, some of them are really pretty. I originally actually was deciding between this one and the yellow one with the little sun. I thought that one was hella cute as well. So Archer and Olive has a lot of notebooks to choose from, whereas Scribble Dot only has about 5 or 6 designs currently to choose from. I mean, they're all very pretty designs, so I'm sure you could choose something, but yeah, the choice is a little bit limited. And also, one thing about the Archer and Olive notebooks is that you can also choose from different types of paper, whereas Scribble Dot doesn't offer any different types of paper. So with the Archer and Olive, you can also choose craft paper, black paper, or watercolor paper, for example, depending on what you want to do with your notebook. But honestly, that fact doesn't really bother me that much because I haven't really had a desire to get a black notebook or a craft notebook yet, so I'm kind of okay with that. If we take a closer look, let's talk about the cover material. The Archer and Olive has a sort of fabric-y material. It feels very thin, I would say. I don't know if you would call it thin, but I mean, it just feels like a piece of fabric. I don't know what else to tell you. One thing I noticed about the Archer and Olive notebook is that dust and lint gets caught on it really easily, which kind of bothers me because I have a cat and you know, there is dust in my house. So I have a feeling, and I think I heard other people say it as well, which is that the Archer and Olive notebooks get dirty really easily. I mean, if you never take it out of the house and never put it in your bag, then it should be fine, but I'm pretty sure that by the end of the year it's not gonna look the same. But if we look at the Scribble Dot journal, so this one in particular has a fake leather cover, so nothing gets stuck on it. It's not smooth or anything, but it's faux leather, so you can imagine what it feels like. I also have some of the notebooks from the old edition of the Scribble Dot notebooks, so I think that's important to mention because if you're gonna be choosing a Scribble Dot notebook, you should probably know that there's a difference between them. I'm gonna talk about this throughout, but first of all, since we're talking about the cover, the original Scribble Dot notebooks have a different sort of cover material. This one in particular has a little fuzzy cover. It feels really nice. It's kind of smooth. It's like, you know, it's a pleasant surprise when you touch it, which you don't really get that with the new one.
So actually I took a closer look on their website and it seems like from the new line, the Sloth one is the only one that has a faux leather cover, whereas all the other ones have a fuzzy cover. So just wanted to clear that up. If you're gonna buy a Scribble Dot notebook, don't expect all of the new ones to be faux leather. Okay, also, how cute is she? Isn't that ridiculous? I fucking love her so much.
But honestly, like, I don't think anybody really cares about this that much, but I just thought you should know, okay? And same goes for this one, which is the Dachshund notebook. It's not as smooth as the koala one, but it is still quite fuzzy. It's not completely smooth, like the Sloth notebook. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. Anyway, so that was very long and unnecessary, sorry, but I thought I should have mentioned that. But yeah, I think the important things you need to know is that Archer and Olive is sort of fabric-y, whereas the Scribble Dot is leathery. When it comes to the thickness of the cover, the Scribble Dot is much thicker. It's actually padded as well, so like you can squish it down and it will come back up, which is quite fun. But yeah, the cover is a lot thicker, and both of them are vegan friendly, so for you vegans out there, these are both vegan approved. Now, moving on. So like I said, both of these notebooks are really similar. When you open them up, they both lie flat. They both have this little, I don't know what you would call it, this notebook loop. notebook loop. I don't know what the bullet journaling community calls this, but you know what I mean. I'm showing you right here. So both of them have that. They both also have a pen loop. Pen hoop? I completely forgot how to speak English. I don't know, one of those, okay? Basically, you can attach your pen to the notebook, which I think is very, very handy. They both have 2 bookmarks. Now, this is where the differences begin, I would say. The Archer and Olive has 2 bookmarks, and one of them has a little charm like this with the Archer and Olive logo. They are both the same color, but are they actually? No, I think actually one of them is a bit lighter. This one's a bit lighter than this one. It's very hardly noticeable, but yeah, they're very similar, but different. Different, but the same. Yeah, so the Archer and Olive has a charm, whereas the Scribble Dot, while it also has 2 bookmarks, it doesn't have a charm or anything. I'm kind of sad about that, honestly. I think the charm is really nice, especially when you're trying to, you know, use your bookmark and you need to hold it down when you want to close the notebook, because otherwise it doesn't really stay in place, the bookmark, and it gets all squished up. And I don't know, maybe that's just my weird obsession, but I think I personally would have preferred to have the charm. But yeah, and the Scribble Dot bookmarks are different colors, so you can see that one of them is light gray and the other one is dark gray. Now, as for the paper, both of these should be 160 GSM, which is really, really good for those of you that don't understand that number. They should both also have 160 pages, although I'm pretty sure that Archer and Olive also offers 192 page option for people that, I don't know, just want more pages. So yeah, the option is there. So 160 pages, I heard, lasts about 6 months. So for an entire year, you're probably gonna need 2 bullet journals. Now the paper color is very, very similar. Let me actually open it up because I don't remember what it looked like. If we compare the Archer and Olive with the new Scribble Dot, you can see that the whiteness is very, very similar. It's a very negligible difference, but the Scribble Dot actually seems to have paper that is a bit wider than the Archer and Olive. Let me try to show you here. I don't know if you can see. And you can also see that the Archer and Olive dots are a lot more prominent than the Scribble and Dot dots. Yeah, that's right. But honestly, like, neither of these are really that noticeable, so it wouldn't bother me. I'm not sure how about other people. I know that some people don't like it when the dots are too dark. Again, since this is from the new collection of the Scribble and Dot notebooks, the notebooks from the old collection actually have pages that are much more yellow than this. So you can see that the difference is pretty noticeable here, because there's not really much light here now. The new Scribble and Dot notebook seems to be a bit more bluish tinted, but it's actually white. It's just the light. Haha! I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Okay. As for the pages themselves, Scribble Dot actually has a lot more pre-made pages, if that's what you would call them. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But when you open up the Archer and Olive notebook, the first page gives you the "this belongs to" space where you can write down your name and your address or whatever. And then when you turn to the next page, one of them is blank, and then the first page is already dotted. Whereas the Scribble Dot notebook, when you open it up, you also have "this journal belongs to" blah blah blah. Then you have the Scribble Dot logo on the next page, and then you have the key page. So that's one pre-made page, and then 3 more pages for an index if you wanted to use an index. Now, another thing is that the Scribble Dot notebook pages are numbered, whereas the Archer and Olive pages are not. So that's why you might want to use the index here in the Scribble Dot notebook, because you can just write down the number of a page for, I don't know, July, for example, or something. The middle is pretty much the same, but if we go to the end, the Archer and Olive again doesn't really have anything. The last page that it has is blank, but the Scribble Dot notebook actually contains 3 pen test pages. So it's actually even titled Pen Test. And these pages don't have any dots on them, so you can clearly see the ghosting and the bleeding on the other side of the page, which I think is really handy. But again, I don't really know how much people actually care about this. I just thought I should mention it. Maybe if you already do a pen test, you already do it at the end of the notebook anyway. But yeah, it has a pen test page is what I'm trying to say. And if we go to the very back of each notebook, they both actually have a little pocket where you can store your stickers or Polaroids, photos. I don't really know what people store in these. I don't really store anything in my pockets, but yeah, maybe that's just me. Okay, so I think now it's time for the pen test. I didn't actually film myself doing the pen test because I thought my camera was running, but it wasn't, so sorry about that. But either way, I used the same markers on both notebooks and they both did very well, I would say. If we turn over to the other side, you can see that there's definitely no bleeding. There is almost no ghosting except for the alcohol marker, but that's the only one that is really showing anything on the other side, which I think is really good. But honestly, you probably shouldn't be using alcohol markers in your bullet journal anyway. It's not gonna look good on the other side of the page, so yeah. So yeah, let's now talk about my overall feelings, I suppose. Like I said at the beginning, they are both very good notebooks. I think that I personally prefer these Scribble Dot bullet journals, but that's really just because of the price and also the availability. I think other than that, they're very similar, especially if you compare the Archer and Olive to the new editions of these Scribble Dot notebooks. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned a lot of things in this video, but I thought that a lot of them would bother me a lot more than they actually did. For example, when I was looking for my first bullet journal, I was like,
it needs to have numbered pages, and it needs to have an index, and it needs to have a pen test page.
But honestly, I don't use the index at all. Same with the key. I don't really use the numbers on the pages either, so I mean, it's nice to have, you know, you can see that they really put some thought into making the notebook. But again, this is gonna be a very subjective opinion of each and every one of you. But I would say that personally, it doesn't really bother me that the Archer and Olive doesn't have those pages. What I think would bother me is the cover, because I don't know, if I just take both of these and feel them in my hands, this one just feels a lot more luxurious in my hand, I would say. But again, this is really only a difference that you would be able to tell if you literally held both of them together like I am now. So I think that it's not really that big of a deal. So yeah, that was a very long conclusion, but I would say overall I definitely prefer the Scribble Dot notebook, and that is purely just because of the price and the availability, because I feel like all the other things don't really matter to me that much. But yeah, I'm also gonna link down a spreadsheet with all the pros and the cons and basically the comparison between these two so that you can see it all in front of you, because I do love my spreadsheets. And I also think that it's going to be very useful for you to see that. Yeah, so let's talk about the giveaway, shall we? The reason I'm going to be doing a giveaway is that I currently have 4 notebooks, and I only purchased 2 of these. These 2 Scribble Dot notebooks were actually sent to me by Scribble Dot. Thank you, Scribble Dot. This video isn't sponsored or anything. They're not paying me. I just got these notebooks from them. Yeah, like I said, I currently have these 4 notebooks. I'm gonna be keeping one of them. I haven't decided which one yet, but I'm gonna write down the options in the description box along with a more detailed overview of the giveaway rules, so definitely make sure you read those. So yeah, giveaway rules, pretty standard, I would say. I'm gonna ask you to follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel on YouTube, and I'm also gonna ask you to leave a comment down below. If you don't really know what to leave a comment about, why don't you tell me which notebook you would prefer, whether the Archer and Olive or the Scribble Dot, because I'm really interested in what other people are thinking and wondering whether I'm just being too crazy about my standards for bullet journals. So yeah, give this video a like, subscribe, and have a great day!